I love video games. I always have and I always will. But when I say I always have, when did that start? For the longest time, I've been trying to figure out what the very first video game I ever played was. And I'm sure a lot of people, especially gamers, wonder that themselves. You probably have an earliest memory of playing a game, but you have a very hard time remembering what the game was. Especially as time goes by and more games come out that a lot of people are playing when they're toddlers before their brains are even capable of developing memories. But in my case, I actually have a few answers. The earliest game I remember playing on a console was Super Mario Bros. On the original NES before the N64 came out. That was at a friend's house. But I had a computer growing up. My dad was an engineer and he had a Windows 3.1 capable of playing a lot of games. And then later on he got Windows 95 and 98. And he decided to buy a few games for the computer for us kids to play growing up. So I played mostly educational games growing up, especially things like Magic School Bus and Jumpstart. Man, those games are awesome and I would love to get those copies again. But what was the very first game that I ever actually played? I've been trying to figure that out for a long time now, and even if I could figure it out, up until now I haven't had a computer capable of playing those old games because Windows XP basically revamped how Windows runs, and old CD-ROM and floppy disk games just don't work on Windows 10. So for a long time I put it off, trying to, figure it out in the back of my mind, but not really caring if I could find out or not. But then one day I just suddenly remembered out of the blue that I played this growing up. This is called Kids Arcade Pack, and this came with all sorts of clone games of famous games from the arcade era. It has Pac-Man, it has Space Invaders, it has a bunch of games that I'll have to show you someday, but right now I can't because that wasn't the first game I ever played. I found out what my very first game was because after my dad died, we went through all his stuff and he kept a lot of old floppy disks. He just never threw any of that away. And for the most part, we threw away what he had because it was all old engineering stuff that's completely outdated. But there was one floppy disk that we kept. And that was this. This is called Snoopy's Game Club. And this was my very first video game. I can't confirm it with my dad, but I did confirm it with my mom, and she agreed with me. As soon as I saw this, I remembered a Snoopy game growing up before Windows 98 came out, and I confirmed with her that, yeah, this was literally the only video game that my dad had on his old Windows 3.1 machine, so this was, in fact, my very first video game. Even more amazing, I have memories of this game. I've been keeping this for so long, found the old Windows 98 up in the attic, decided to put it back together and turn it on. It works great. So I've already put this in there once just to make sure it runs. It does. Let's go ahead and explore my very first video game ever. How many people can claim that? That not only do they remember their very first video game, but they have the copy that they had when they were young. This should be awesome. Also pay attention to the screen, very important information. Okay, I've got this all set up here, my Windows 98 machine. This is an old machine. To be clear, this isn't the same Windows that my family had growing up. We got this secondhand in like 2001, I think. And we've just held on to it ever since. So this is actually not that bad of a 98 machine. It's not the most high-end. It doesn't have a dedicated graphics card or anything, but it runs everything I've thrown at it just fine. Like I said, I was mostly running edutainment games growing up. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to my computer. I'm sure there's tons of you who've never even seen what Windows 98 looks like, so I'm sure this is a new experience for you. So I have Snoopy's Game Club. Just go ahead and throw that into the floppy drive. and open that up. It's reading. And the first time I tried playing this game, it ran, but it crashed almost instantly, saying that it was better in DOS mode. And my DOS is a little old, but I could probably make something work. So let's see if I can't open up DOS and see if I can't make this run. Floppy disk would be A:\backspace. And let's run. This PS2 keyboard is difficult to work with. Let's run p.exe. And with any luck, that should load it. It did, and my camera went out of focus, but that's okay. Oh, that's so cool. Now, my PC here doesn't have any speakers, but the PC itself does have a speaker. And here we go, my very first video game ever. I might be able to capture video from this using my OSSC, but I kind of like this quick setup. It gives you an idea of what I'm looking at. Let's go ahead and enter and go into the game. Okay, player 1's name is Skull. And let's see. We got 3 different mini-games here to choose from. We've got Snoopy's Animated Puzzles, we got Charlie Brown's Picture Pairs, and Woodstock's Lookalikes. Let's just go through them one at a time in order. So, Snoopy's Animated Puzzles. It is a Peanuts game. Man, I love Peanuts so much. Oh my gosh. Oh, I remember how this works. Wait, there's different puzzles. I see. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I think. What am I doing here? I kind of remember the Christmas tree one. I'm just trying to figure out how I get into that. How do I start? Wait, I think I know. I need to count the Christmas tree lights. So let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So, if I select... Wow, that was... I obviously messed up that number. Let's see again. No, there's 23. So, I wonder what happens... Why are all these multiples of 9? Wait, they're not multiples of 9. They're multiples of... What is this? This looks familiar. What is this? Oh! Okay, that's what happens. Okay, it makes it so you have to, Oh, it just moves it around. Oh, wow, okay, so... I think I just broke the game. Game just crashed. Okay, so that's what happened last time, but I thought I ran that in DOS. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to point out on the folder here, if I can maybe zoom in. There we go. If I click on p.exe, which is the file name that will start the game, you could see it was modified June 15, 1992, which was just a hair under 2 weeks after I was born, which means that this game is literally as old as I am. I just always found that so fascinating. Let's go ahead and continue. I really want to get this working properly. It might not 100% work unless it's on a Windows 3.1, because DOS even at this stage was a bit of legacy coding, but it's still worth the try if I can make it work. Also, I'm going to point out, you know how rare it is? You know how rare it is for old floppy disks to still have their data on them? It's actually very, very rare indeed. It's like, I remember just buying floppy disks by the dozen when I was like 12 to take my Word documents from home to the library to print them off, and half the time they were erased by the time they were there. So the fact that this Snoopy disk still has all the data on it is pretty amazing. So, okay, this is what happens. You have the picture here, and you can choose how many sections you want to split the picture up in. I remember trying 64 a few times when I was little and it never really worked. I think I usually just did 4 because it was easier. Let me look at this. So we'll find out if this works, I guess, because I'm going to press the enter button, and if it crashes the game again, then we'll know that it's basically unplayable. Oh! Well, it works. I just needed to fully load in DOS mode. So that's how this... Here, let's try another puzzle. And, let's try another puzzle. Hold on. So, let's see. Let's try... I gotta give the disc some time to load here. Here we go, and let's just start that and make it 16 pieces, because why not? Oh, and it animates while it does it. Oh, I don't know if consoles could do this at the time. That's so cool. I wasn't paying attention, though, so I don't know where these pieces go. Let's just move you there. Oh, my arm hurts having to reach underneath the tripod. And I keep bumping the tripod. I'm just going to have to give you guys an extreme angle. I'm sorry, my arm will not allow any different. And solved! It took 50 moves, but I solved the puzzle. Wow, I mean, even as an adult that's difficult, but I'm very happy with myself. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and exit out. Man, I'm just glad it works. That was Snoopy's Animated Puzzles. Let's go ahead and check out Charlie Brown's Picture Pairs. I'm pretty sure this is either spot the difference or match the pictures, like the, table flip game. Oh, okay, this is a 2-player game, so let's do Skull and Skull with 2 L's. Why not? Alright, so yeah, this is one of those where you have to flip the cards until you find the ones that are... you can see how it works. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people have played a game similar to this, so... Nope. Yeah, this is a 2-player game, and I don't know if I played this... If I played this with anyone, it would have been with my mom. You could barely hear that. That was cool. Let's see. Woodstock. Nope. So this is the sort of thing that's meant to help train your mind as a child, to help you figure things out. I'm very bad, apparently, even as an adult, but that's okay. I'm having fun, and that's what matters most. And it looks like we're going to end in a tie. Wow, look at these graphics. That's very impressive for floppy disk graphics. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a tie between Skull and Skull, as you can see there, 2 and 2. This is stuff that consoles struggled with in 1992. Wait, no, it was Skull 1 and Skull 3. Okay, so that's what that middle game is. So we've gone through the Snoopy's Animated Puzzles and Charlie Brown's Picture Pairs. Let's go ahead and check out Woodstock's lookalikes. Starting number of objects. Okay, let's go ahead and just start with 6 and see what it gives us. Oh my goodness! This is the one that gives me the most nostalgia, and I'll tell you why. Because this is the one that's most ingrained in my memory of things that I remember with this game. For when I think about... I don't get it. Let's check out 18. So I guess the point is all of these are slightly different colors to each other, and you need to find the 2 that are identical. Which is probably easier on this VGA monitor I have instead of an old CRT. And listen, the computer is singing. That's not the speakers, that's the actual computer. Computers used to do that. Okay, and now you get to pick the Snoopies. Looks like this one and that one are identical. It's still a 2-player game, Skull versus Skull. Oh man, like, I understand how primitive this might look. But oh my gosh! I understand how primitive this looks to you guys, but you gotta understand, not only was this my very first video game, I actually have memories of this from when I was younger. Look, now they're underwater. So it looks like Skull is trying to pick out of 6, and Skull is trying to pick out of 18. Oh man, these fish. Yes, I remember these fish. Now, I couldn't tell you what else there was in this game. I just remember it as I see it. Like, I don't remember Snoopy scuba diving, but I remember the fish. It's very selective. Oh man, let's see. It looks like... I'm sure somebody looked at this instantly and just knew. Man. Actually, none of these look the same right now. Let me look. Yeah, none of these look identical. Oh, wait, yeah, here we go. There we go. So that was Snoopy Games, and we just exited the game and safely left. Oh, it just said bye-bye. I don't know if you heard that. Oh, Windows is restarting. Yeah, that's another thing to remember about DOS computers, is that once you're done with an application, it has to restart so it can clear its memory and start over. Oh, man. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it all the way to the end, then I appreciate it, and I appreciate anyone who leaves a like on the video, and wow, I mean, I know most of you don't care about what you just saw, but I'm just blown away, and I just love it so much. So, that pretty much does it. You know, someday I will review this game, so be on the lookout for that. This one's actually a lot of fun, and I'll try my best to direct capture that. But for now, take care, everyone. Bye.